Hey, this is Michael from Clutter Stuff. I'm here by myself today to do a comic book haul. You may be familiar from some of my earlier haul videos that, when I say I'm by myself, I guess I'm not completely by myself. I do have a curious little visitor here who's trying to figure out what I'm doing. That's you. Say hi to the camera, Bugsy. Um, but anyway, so you may recall from my last haul video, I should say, that our comic book store, our local comic book shop, closed down, and so I had to go about an hour away to my next, to the next closest comic book store. So I only get out there about once a month anymore. Last month I forgot to do a video, or I wouldn't say forgot, I just didn't have time to sit down with them. And then most recently, this is the most recent haul. So it's really two hauls in one, actually three, because what I also have is a bunch of back issues that I bought from our local comic book store before it closed. They were running a amazing deal. Basically, the dollar bins were everything. They were getting rid of everything. They were liquidating their stock of back issues, and so we're going to start with those, since those are the oldest comics and the ones I've had the longest. And just a quick rant. I already did this video once. And I tried to do it directly with YouTube with my webcam, and for whatever reason, the video didn't upload. It went crazy, so I deleted it. I'm redoing it. So, not that anyone cares. But anyway, here we are. These are both reading copies. There's a ton of damage to them, all over the spine. There's creases on the cover. But they're two of my favorite stories from the late 80s. I think this is 1987, 88, 87. Okay. So basically what it was, Captain America 332 and 333. The Steve Rogers quit. He didn't. The government demanded that he answer directly to them. He said he was not going to do that. That he was a independent operator. He was not, and had been for, however many years. And he wasn't going to stop. He wasn't going to change the way he did things, to start following their orders. And so he resigned as Captain America, and they chose a man named John Walker, who was formerly known as the Super Patriot, as the new Captain America. And that did cause a bunch of trouble, but it's a great story arc from the late 80s. I think it lasted about 2 or 3 years, if I remember correctly, where Steve Rogers became known as the Captain, and John Walker was Captain America. They later, the Captain, Steve Rogers later became Captain America again, and John Walker started wearing the costume of the Captain, but went by the name U.S. Agent, and continued to work for the government. So those are good. They're both, like I said, those are both reading copies. They're not in very good shape, but they are good enough for what I wanted. I got these two, and I'm a little bit upset. If I knew that they were going to be closing, if I knew my comic store was going to be closing when they did, I would have picked up more issues in this run. I just picked up issue 1 and 2. I have loved Jonathan Hickman's work on the Time Runs Out, with the Avengers and with Secret Wars, and so I've been going back and trying to pick up some of his earlier work. This is FF number 1, FF number 2. I've never been a huge fan of Fantastic Four. They are okay. I don't hate them, but just not a huge fan, but Hickman's work here is phenomenal. Both stories are just great. Love them to death. We're going to move quickly through these because I have a lot to show you and I don't want it to be a half an hour. This is a Fantastic Four annual. It's part of the Evolutionary War crossover event. It crossed over all of the annuals from this year, 1988, and it stars the High Evolutionary. This one, of course, has a guest appearances from the Inhumans, yeah, I think I got into a little bit more detail about the Evolutionary War in an earlier Hall video where I picked up quite a few of them, and I also have a blog post on the Clutter Stuff blog where I talk about the Evolutionary War. These two issues here, basically I got them, this one because it's a big old Hulk fist. It's not even really the Hulk, but it's a big old Hulk fist. This also is guest appearance of the Hulk. That's my largest collection are issues of the Hulk, you know, in his own series and guest appearances, mini series, one shots, etc. So anytime I see something with the Hulk in it, I go ahead and pick it up. Been collecting the Hulk for almost 30 years now, so that's what those two are. And this fits in perfectly with my Secret Wars set. We've got Molecule Man, Beyonder. You know, these are you know, major. This was a kind of a follow up to Secret Wars 2 from maybe 3 or 4 years later. Maybe not even that long. Let's see, this is from 1988, so about 2 to 3 years after Secret Wars 2, and it kind of is a epilogue, and you know, it does to a certain degree. If you've been reading the new Secret Wars series, there is some relevance to the new series of these older issues. I am going back and pulling, and when I can find a good deal, I'm pulling some of the older Avengers as well. This is Avengers number 200. It's in fairly decent shape. This one is really an interesting issue. There is a just bizarre story featuring Carol Danvers, who was then Miss Marvel. Now, of course, she is Captain Marvel, but there's just a really bizarre story with her in it. So go ahead and if you have a chance to get a copy of that, I would definitely recommend it. And last but not least, for the back issues, we've got Captain America number 289. This was from January 1984, which was known as Assistant Editors Month. You can see the little thing here. Most of these Assistant Editors Month was a kind of a 1 month thing that they did. The issues that are affected have this kind of checkered pattern up at the top. Not every title, but most of them were affected, and they and basically what they did was had funny stories. They were most of the time they were somewhat funny. Most of them did not take place in the regular continuity. You know, this is I like the Red Skull MODOK weird crossover thing that's going on here. The Avengers from this month, for example, had the team appearing on the David Letterman show. And remember, this is 1984, so I mean, this is when David Letterman was brand new, and or I shouldn't say brand new, but he was really hitting his stride in terms of fame and popularity. Okay, so that's it for the back issues. Here, I'm going to try to quickly go through the new issues that I picked up. Again, this is multiple months, so I've got Secret Wars number 7 and number 8. Number 9, the next issue to come out will be the last issue of the series. I've been loving the story. Yeah, I don't think I need to really say a whole lot more about Secret Wars. I'll do that, maybe in another video, kind of do a recap of Secret Wars in a video in the sometime in the future. Ultimate End, number 4 and number 5. This is where the regular Marvel Universe and the Ultimate Universe kind of collided in the middle. I believe I have 2 copies of this. I think issue 5 was delayed, and when I went back to the store, I forgot what issue I was on. And I think I picked up a second copy of number 4, thinking it was a new one that I hadn't gotten yet. But no, this is pretty good. Number 5 basically is the end of the run, which then turns around and continues into the main title, the main Secret Wars title, and then into the all new, all different Marvel. And then this is the last issue of the Squadron Sinister tie-in. It's pretty good. It's fairly standard. It's not the best of the tie-ins, but it's pretty decent. They really play up the multiverse kind of. So that's pretty interesting there. And that's the end of that series. And here is Old Man Logan, number 5. Again, this is the end of this tie-in series, which then continues into the all new, all different Marvel. Old Man Logan will have his own series beginning this month, I believe. The new series will be starting. So, and last but not least, for Secret Wars, we have Secret Wars 2. This is a humor book. It's not an official part of the canon or continuity. It is just a complete joke. Something similar to What The from the 80s, or Not Brand Echh from the 70s. It's just humor. They're poking fun at themselves, and I love when Marvel does that, because it seems so many people take comic books so seriously, and I love the fact that Marvel can make fun of themselves, that they don't take themselves too seriously. All right, now into the all new, all different. Okay, I've mentioned this before. All new, all different Avengers. This team, I love this book. This is going to be the main Avengers book. It's very good so far. The first 2 issues. The team is Captain America, Sam Wilson, Thor, Jane Foster, Iron Man, Tony Stark, the Vision, Miles Morales, Spider-Man, Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, and Sam, whatever his name is, Nova. So, you got 3 teenagers, high school age teenagers on this team with these grizzled veterans. So, the dynamics there are very interesting. And it's a great series. Love the story so far. That was number 1, issue number 1, number 2. Here is the new Avengers. This is issue number 3. I think this is going to be the last issue that I buy for the new Avengers. I just haven't been able to connect with any of the characters. The only character that I'm familiar with is Hawkeye as part of this team, and it's not the Hawkeye I grew up with. I'm not sure. It's just kind of I just haven't connected with the characters. So I'll be removing this one from my pull list. I'm sure other people will probably enjoy it. It's not that there's anything intrinsically bad about the story or about the characters of the series. They're just fine. It's just not my cup of tea. So I do like Uncanny Avengers, and here we have issues 2 and 3. I really have been enjoying this series. I didn't read the original run of Uncanny Avengers, but I did read the recent 5-issue mini series where we learned the origins of Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch and their connection to the High Evolutionary. So I'm this series so far so good. Again, it's X-Men, Avengers, and they added in humans as well. So so far so good. And of course, because it's never too early, we already have an Uncanny Avengers annual #1. This is also another great story. So I really like this series, the Ultimates. There's no connection to the old Ultimate Marvel Universe Ultimates. I did collect those. I have the first 2 years of the full runs of the first 2 years of the Ultimates. This has no bearing on that whatsoever. They just use the same name and the same logo. The Ultimate Universe Ultimates were basically their Avengers. This is completely separate team. You've got Captain Marvel, Spectrum, Monica Rambeau, Black Panther. These are Miss America and Blue Marvel, and it's more cosmic. It's an Avengers team, so to speak, but more cosmic stories. This first 2-issue arc features Galactus, and it's great. It's just a phenomenal story arc. So go ahead and take a look at those if you're at all interested. Got Vision #2. Good story so far. Scarlet Witch #1. It's a good story, great art. I'm probably not going to continue with this one either, not because of any weakness in the story, just not really mine. Not really for me. It's good. It's a good story. I might pick up another issue or two to see where this first arc leads. They do kind of have me hooked on the first story, but I just don't know that long run it's going to be something that I'm going to want to continue to read. But I'm withholding judgment until I see issue 2 and possibly issue 3. Totally Awesome Hulk #1. It's totally awesome. I love the Hulk. Always have. It's Frank Cho artwork. Love Frank Cho. It's Amadeus Cho. It's not Bruce Banner. Bruce Banner is no longer the Hulk. This is Frank Cho is the Hulk now. Excuse me. Amadeus Cho is the Hulk now. Frank Cho is just drawing him. But I love it. So, I love the Hulk. Always have. Always will. That's just a new twist on an old friend, This is going to be a great series. Squadron Supreme #1. Again, they really brought in the multiverse here. Each of the members of Squadron Supreme are members of the Squadron Supreme from different universes, different parallel universes. And the way they go is just, I don't want to spoil it because this is a new issue, but I love the concept. I think this is going to be a phenomenal series. Highly recommended. Pick it up. See, Contest of Champions #3. I love the first 2 issues. This 3rd issue is also great. I think there's gonna be a great series. So I'm gonna keep picking this one up. Illuminati #2. It's a team of bad guys. There's this one bad guy who's bringing together a bunch of other bad guys and trying to reform the Illuminati. It's completely unrelated to the old Illuminati, with Tony Stark and Professor X and Black Panther and Reed Richards, and completely unrelated to them. It's a team of villains. And I'm going to give it a couple more issues and see where it goes. So far, I like it. There's a little bit of humor in it. So, and of course, talking about humor, you can't talk about Deadpool without talking about humor. We've got issues number 2, number 3, number 4. I believe number 3 here is a variant cover. These other 2 are just the main covers that I picked up. This is a great story so far. And Deadpool's going to be hot. They've got the movie coming out. The trailers have been great. It's going to keep being. It's going to keep. It's going to be a hot book. And so far they have not disappointed. Here we have. This is another variant cover, but this is Dark Knight 3, The Master Race, and we got issue number 1 and issue number 2. So far I like it. I'm not really sure exactly what direction they're going. I'm starting to follow it a little bit. You start to get a little bit of, kind of figure out what's going on here a little bit towards the end of issue 2. But not real clear yet where it's going or what's happening. But we'll see. It's Dark Knight Returns, the original run, was amazing. Dark Knight 2 was a little bit less amazing. But we'll see where it goes. We've got Orphan Black, The Chaos Strategy, issue number 1. This is an original story that ties into the TV show, but is not based on any episodes. I'm definitely curious to see where this goes. I love the TV show. It's on BBC America if you're here in the United States. If you're not in the United States, I'm not sure where it is, what channel it's on, but it's a phenomenal TV show. I love Orphan Black. So this is, again, like I said, it's an original story. It's not based on any of the episodes, but it's set in that universe. I'm enjoying it and looking forward to more. I'm a little disappointed so far in Fight Club 2. He's been losing me a little bit with these last couple issues, this number 7 and number 8. I'm hoping he gets back on track. I know that Chuck Palahniuk is capable. I've read several of his novels, and I've always loved them. Read several short stories, and sometimes he may go off the deep end, but I've always loved him. He has a very twisted sensitivity. This one, though, there's just a few parts in this comic that I just don't understand what the point of them is. And it's a little bit. The story's a little bit disjointed. It's not. You can tell it's not his native medium. And hopefully, I'm going to go ahead and stick with the series through the end. I'm sure, and hopefully he pulls it out in the end. But so far, the first few issues were good. The last couple issues have been a little disappointing. I have not at all been disappointed with Beauty. This is numbers 4 and 5, I believe. Yeah, 5 and 4. There you go. 4 and 5. I love it. The story is great. This is the virus that turns people beautiful, and all of a sudden it starts to kill them. So, I'm going to just leave it at that. Don't want to spoil too much. But I definitely have been enjoying this. If you're looking for a good series to read, Beauty by Image Comics, so far has been just a great story. Really enjoying it. And last but not least, I mentioned this in the last haul video, Hip Hop Family Tree. We have issue number 4 and number 5 here. I think we're into the early 80s now. I hope that he keeps going with this. It's a great series. It definitely has kind of an old school feel to it, which is perfect for the considering that it's talking about old school rap. It takes place in the 70s and so far in the early 80s now. It's it's been fun. You know, I'm a huge fan of old school hip hop. Have been since it was just new, and you know, I'm looking forward to continuing to read this series as long as he produces it. So that's it for my haul today. Like I said, that was 2 months. Hopefully, we don't go another 2 months before the next haul video. Um, and yeah, I'm going to have a much shorter video coming up soon after this, where I want to talk about the future of Clutter Stuff and the future of our channel. And so I will see you next time. Bye.